A man claiming to be a time traveller who has returned from the year 6491 has done an interview where he talks about what planets humans will be living on in the future. My name is Danny Burke, returning once again this week to fill in here on LandonProduction. Hope you're having a nice Friday wherever you are in the world. Let's talk about this time traveller. He's called James Oliver and he spoke to Apex TV, a channel about the paranormal, about what life is like almost 4,500 years in the future. One of the main points he talks about is how by the year 6491 humans have spread out to many different planets across the solar system because of overpopulation. He said that humans will be living on Mars, Mercury and Venus in special domes that cover the whole surface of those planets. Now James claims he is from another part of the galaxy and is now stuck in the year 2018. He also warned about the Yellowstone volcano erupting sometime soon, devastating the US and the world at large. Okay, that's the details of the story out the way. Now for an opinion. I think it's a load of rubbish, obviously. I love hearing about these people who claim to be time travelers from the future because there's always something so obvious they overlook in their story. In this case, why does James sound like he's from the south of England? You know, he claims to be from thousands of years in the future, from an entirely different solar system, and yet his accent sounds a little bit like my uncle. Think about how quickly accents change in just 100 years. In thousands of years, whole languages can change. Now I'm guessing he might explain all of this away by saying he studied our ancient language and picked Southern English as his accent of choice, but really I think you need to use Occam's razor for this one and assume that the simplest explanation is he's just making all of this up. But hey, that's just my opinion. What do you guys think about this story? I guess if Yellowstone does explode in the next few years, I may have to eat my own words. We shall see. The official Harry Potter mobile game Hogwarts Mystery released their new trailer yesterday, and the reaction from fans has been interesting, shall we say. The game offers Potter fans the experience of living the life of an everyday Hogwarts student. It's a departure from previous official franchise games which tended to focus more on playing as one of the main characters, usually Harry himself. In Hogwarts Mystery, the player will be sorted into a house, attend classes, make friends, and fight evil in their very own storyline. Now on paper, it looks like a fun mobile game that provides fans with what they've always wanted, their shot at being a Hogwarts student. Some people on Twitter certainly seem to think so. One girl joked that everyone won't hear from her for months or years once this game comes out. Others speculated if this could become the Harry Potter version of Pokemon Go. That would be something to strive for, as Pokemon Go became the craze of the summer upon release, but I'm sure the Hogwarts Mystery designers would like it to retain its popularity in the years following release. I hate to burst everyone's bubble with this, but there were also some very negative reviews from people who got their hands on the game in the early beta test. Some people described it as dull and nothing more than a money grab to make money off a franchise. Others said, spoiler alert, it's just really bad. Of course, this all may be due to people's personal taste. I guess you will have to see for yourself if you like the game. It will be coming out on Android and then iOS sometime after. Shocking story now coming from Florida, where a 26-year-old teacher has been charged with having sexual relations with a 14-year-old boy, and apparently she used McDonald's to lure him in. Stephanie Peterson also sent inappropriate pictures of herself to the boy when it all started in November. The teenager said the married teacher would come and collect him from his home at night and take him elsewhere to have sex. She would then return him in the early hours of the morning. When it came to keeping him quiet and pacified, she would buy him McDonald's and even marijuana. During that time, the boy's grades slipped from A's to F's. He remained silent on the whole issue until one day when a different teacher contacted his parents to see if he wanted mentoring. His parents joked about him being groomed by that teacher, and that's when he burst into tears and said anyone could molest you. He then told the full account of what Stephanie Peterson had done to him. Now she's been taken into custody where her charges carry a $25,000 bond. Well, what do you guys think about the story? I think it's sick, obviously. I think for many years cases like this were sometimes overlooked or swept under the rug because it was maybe a female teacher and a male student, but it's clear that this is just as horrific and damaging to the child regardless of what gender the parties involved were. Next up, a Kenyan doctor has performed brain surgery on the wrong patient. 4 Kenyan medics have been suspended after cutting open the skull of the wrong patient at a hospital in Nairobi. There were 2 separate patients. One of them needed intensive surgery for a blood clot on the brain, the other just needed non-invasive treatment for swelling. Identification tags on the patients were mixed up and they received the wrong surgery. The doctors didn't even realize until hours into the procedure when they found no blood clot in the patient who, surprisingly, never had a blood clot. Fortunately, the patient is making a full recovery, but now the hospital is having to examine how a mistake like this could even happen. The CEO, Lily Cross, said the hospital deeply regrets this event and has done all it can to ensure the safety and well-being of the patient in question. She went on to say the neurosurgeon, the ward nurse, receiving nurse, and the anaesthetist have all been suspended pending further investigation. Now, all 4 of them have protested against their suspension and claimed it was the person who put the identification tags on that should bear the full brunt of the punishment. How do you guys feel about this? We put a lot of trust in doctors and hospitals in general when it comes to our bodies. Obviously they get it right 99.9% of the time, but do you worry that one day you might be a part of that 0.1%? Interesting thought. Next up now, the city of Eugene in Oregon is being plagued by gangs of wild turkeys that roam the streets. It's a story that sounds like something straight out of a movie. The city has seen a surge in what's called urban farming, where people let animals just roam in cities and towns instead of the usual farms and grasslands we're used to seeing them in. In Eugene, the main day is Turkey Wednesday, where locals leave out oats, wheat and barley for the turkeys and chickens there. The city council has said this has brought on a plague of rats, and perhaps more worryingly, the turkeys just don't care. Seriously, they aren't scared of humans. They tend to just stand around in the street waiting for people to give them their next meal. When they're done eating, they leave turkey feces everywhere. Officials have been meeting to try and come up with a solution for this. Right now it looks like they will put a ban on feeding the turkeys in public. Will this cause the turkeys to disperse and look for food elsewhere, or will they just get really hungry and then angry and then attack humans in the street? Could this become the world's first turkey majority city? And finally now we've got another animal story where scientists have recently discovered a hidden population of penguins numbering 1.5 million. I know what you guys are thinking, how can 1.5 million penguins hide for so long? Well, they live on the danger islands of the Antarctic Peninsula. The heavy sea ice around those islands means that boats struggle to land there, meaning they've been almost untouched by humans. So how did they find the penguins? Through satellite imaging. But they didn't spot the penguins themselves, they spotted their poop. That's right, the penguins were discovered when a satellite in space saw huge patches of their feces all over the islands, prompting scientists to investigate further. They are Adelie penguins, which have long since thought to be endangered, but now that these 1.5 million of them have been discovered, scientists aren't quite as worried. They also seem to have very healthy bowels by the looks of things. It's thought that their isolation and lack of contact with humans may be the reason that their numbers have swelled so high. Experts are now calling for a marine protected area for the islands to ensure that they remain unspoiled by human activity. I love that. I love how humans just seem to ruin everything we touch. It's a great little quality we have. I'm just kidding. We're okay. Kind of. Well, that is the last LP I'll be doing this week. Landon and Courtney will be back with you guys on Monday. I've had a lot of fun. I hope you guys like the stories. I hope you enjoy the videos. I hope you remember the penguins. I think that's about everything. I'm Danny Burke. Thank you for watching LandonProduction, and I hope you have a lovely weekend.